Hello. Hello. I hope that you can hear me. It's Yvonne here. Welcome to tonight's session. And tonight's session is all about don't wait, do it while you can. So I'm fresh off the trail from hiking today. It's been a very busy day. So you can see that I've literally just run in, showered, and I'm here with you. So welcome. I'm not even sure if this is working. So let me know if you can't hear me. If you're watching live, please drop me a note and say hello. If you're watching on the replay, please do the same. Now, it is a segment today called Don't Wait. Why wait? Do it while you can. And there's a couple of reasons for that. We've launched some of our big European adventures for next year, two which sold out in a day or less than a day, in literally half an hour. So that is very exciting. And I've been chatting to quite a few of the people that booked onto that as to why that sold out so quickly, why that was of interest to them. And also because today is my birthday, and birthdays are a great way to reflect on time, how quickly time passes, on age through time, and also on just how quickly time flies. And they're a really good opportunity to reflect backwards and also to reflect forwards as well. So hello, Gillian. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Helen. Lovely to have you here, Helen. That's not a name I'm familiar with, so welcome, Helen. Hello, Sue. Yes, I will see you on Saturday. Looking forward to that. And hello, Lynn, as well. And thank you, Helen. Thank you for the happy birthday. So if you're wondering how old I am, sometimes I feel a lot older. Today I am 59 years, so next year is a very special birthday for me. So I never used to say it was my birthday. I always used to go, yeah, it's just a birthday. But we had this conversation on our Sunday Night Live, or not Sunday Night Live, on our Sunday Walk and Talks a few months ago about celebrating birthdays and why birthdays are generally and literally a gift to remind ourselves that we are still here. Some of us do not have the luxury of having longevity. My dear, beautiful mother died 14 years ago at the age of 70, which is not, very old at all these days. So, the fact that we have a body that is aging and that lets us move freely and easily through the world is a really wonderful thing. And we need to rejoice in that and celebrate that each and every day, rather than, which is the whole why wait topic, think, I will wait till I am fitter. I will wait till I'm stronger. I will wait till next year. I will wait till this happens. I will wait till that happens, because you know what? We do not know what is around the corner. We do not know what tomorrow will bring. I know this time last year, for those of you who know, I'm a runner. This time last year, I was having a birthday, obviously, on this day last year, getting ready to go on a holiday to Peru and then come back and run the marathon in Berlin. I am so glad that I did both of those things. So, certainly Peru, I could do this year, but if I chose to. But in terms of running a marathon, things have changed in terms of my running skill set. And I am so far removed in my running fitness from where I was this time last year. So, I am so glad I did not wait till another year to take advantage of that opportunity to be able to do that. So, I think that our whole why wait, and I think we're all getting better at, I'm not going to wait, I'm going to do it now. I think that whole wait thing, what are we actually waiting for is the question. So Brod says, and hello, Brod. I never growl about reaching another milestone and have decided not to wait for anything and just grab the bull and the bull by the horns and get out there. Absolutely. And that was our conversation today as well, is that someone said to me, well, I'm doing this because I want to do and see as much as I can before I'm not able to walk. Now, she is a retired senior nurse in the allied health profession and has seen, firsthand people of all ages, shapes, sizes, backgrounds, that life has not turned out the way it was meant to, and all those hopes and dreams that they had to do things have not been able to be realized. And I know that we all make the most of, the way life deals its cards at us, but all of those things that those dreams and hopes and desires that we have, no matter whether they're hiking adventures or, getting out there and meeting new friends or, wearing a different style of clothing or taking up a new hobby, all of those things are really things that we should do today. Why wait is a good thing. And I think good health is one of those most important things for the why wait. So let me check in who else is here. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Hello, Karen. Hello, Alethea and Brod. Leonie, Anne, Ellen, Christine, all the way out there. Everyone's out there. So good health is a gift. Average health is a gift, really. The fact that you can move, the fact that you can make choices, the fact that you can make decisions is a wonderful thing. And we really need to focus on that good health moving forward, maintaining that good health. Yeah, absolutely, Anne. I'll share that in a moment. And getting out there and doing all the things while we absolutely can. And for me, travel and health and wellness are those things that never, ever regret giving time to. In fact, yesterday afternoon, I went to the gym. We'd had a lovely day out. And I was tired in the afternoon, but I knew that I could give that gift to myself of going to the gym, doing a workout, building some strength, because that's the thing that's going to pay off for me down the track. It'll show up next week, it'll show up the week after, and it'll show up in a decade or two to come, provided I keep doing it and being consistent. So I could say, well, I'm just going to wait till I actually need to do that. But what is the point of that? Because by then it's too late. And Anne has just shared here, procrastination is the thief of time. And absolutely it is. We can I don't know about you, but sometimes if I don't want to get out of bed to do something in the early hours of the morning, and early, I'm talking 4:30ish, I can lie in bed and go, I don't want to go. Maybe it's raining, maybe it's not, maybe it'll be cancelled, maybe it won't. And I can procrastinate when I could have actually got up and got out there and done the thing. And then I have this silly argument with myself, which is absolutely torturous, till I'm at the point where I've missed that cutoff point where I have to be up and out the door, and then I'm cursing myself for the whole day. So yeah, that is procrastination at its finest. But I totally agree with Brod there. And if anyone has any other comments about putting life on hold or just grabbing it and running with every opportunity that comes your way, please share away. But we only get, as to the best of anyone's knowledge, we only get one great opportunity to live our best life. And whilst we don't all have to be scaling the heights and traveling the world, we all should be open to the opportunity of, if someone asks you to do something, or you really like the idea of something, or it is something that appeals to you and you would like to explore more, then why wait? We can think about it as anxiety, we can think about it as fear, we can think about it as this unknown that we're stepping into. But life is full of unknowns. And if we think back to 5 years ago when the pandemic days were on, we all may say we don't like change, but we all dealt with change because it was forced upon us in those very early days of 2020. And yes, it was scary. Yes, it was unknown. It was actually quite frightening, but we all managed change. So it's really easy, as we were saying today, to default to the option, the easy option. Our ego, our brains want us to take the easy option. It's easier to sit than it is to stand. It's easier to lie down in bed than it is to get up. So taking the easy option is, what we're wired to do. So change, fear, resistance are all things. And, as I've mentioned in the past, one of the reasons I started Women's Fitness Adventures is there must be other women like me who want to try new things, who want to do these things, who want that camaraderie and support of other women who are in the same time and space zone, that wanted to see, do, experiment, try all these wonderful things around outdoors, around health, around wellness, around travel, around hiking, and have great conversations at the same time, but not feel that they're being judged, not feel that it's a competition, but just really get out there and have a great time. And we've proven that, we've shown that. Each and every one of you who are members who are watching have shown that as well, and it's testament to all of you. So our good health is a gift. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I should do that, or I want to do that, but I've got this nagging injury from 20 years ago. Perhaps it's not a nagging injury. If you haven't read my Turkish Delight story, then jump on and read that in our Facebook, or reach out to me and I'll send you the article, because we can hang on to things that no longer serve us and hang on to those things forever, and they're really just a story. Or I actually prompted me, this book I got sent, The Four Agreements. I listened to it, I didn't read it. It's these agreements that we've actually had with ourselves, that may be, and I know we've had this conversation with our members a lot around singing, and how, we were all told if you're around my era, in primary school, that we weren't a very good singer. We were asked to leave choir, choir tryouts. And so we've hung on to that story literally all of our lives and never tried to sing, because we were told we were bad or not a very good singer. So that's an agreement that we had with ourselves. And perhaps you're someone who had sore ankles or broken ankle when you're in your 20s, and the physio or someone said, don't ever do this, don't ever do that, because that will aggravate it. That's an agreement that you've had with yourself for a long, long time. Or perhaps it's, I don't do this or I don't do that. I really encourage you to challenge those agreements, because it could be that they're just serving you to serve a story, and they could be the thing that subconsciously is holding you back from making some great decisions around things that you really want to do. So it's kind of getting into the mindset space as well, and do things while you can. And I think particularly with travel, particularly with outdoors, particularly with hiking and trying new things, is that we can, as we get older, become less of a not quite the right words, but thrill seeker, or less of a we become more risk averse. So we think of all the things that could go wrong, or all the things that might set us back. And I know with hiking in particular is, will I get injured? Will my feet hurt? Will I be sore the next day? Will that then impact in my life going forward? So we can talk ourselves out of something with our mindset before we can talk ourselves into something. But we can also, when we travel, there's a certain window of travel, or there's a certain, if you hang around people of all ages, no matter what your age, of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all occupations and all hobbies, then you will become this really tolerant, really patient, really open-minded person to all aspects. Whereas if we hang around the same thing all the time, our mindset becomes smaller. And travel and outdoors and meeting new people is a wonderful way to challenge our mindset and to keep us young at heart as well. And we all know, yeah, okay, Gillian, I'll jump onto that as well. Gillian says, it is so hard to push through the what ifs and the mind games. And we know, and a couple of our Couch to Mountainers are watching here today, is that we all have this laundry list of worries. And I know we've spoken about this before, that we have this laundry list of worries and we worry about something. And if anyone's got a worry they want to put up there, we can play a little game, is that I can solve, if it's related to anything in our field, we can generally solve that worry for you. But if you are the person that is likely to be a little bit of a worrier, you're probably going to slot another worry in there. And I could probably solve the next worry, but then you might slot another worry in there. So the worries will never go away. It is, and the what ifs will probably never go away as well. That's our friendly fear. So what if I am the slowest? Well, what if I'm not? What if I am the slowest? Well, what if I keep showing up and I train and I get fitter? What if I am the slowest? Well, it doesn't matter, because we're working as a team, and we will all get there. We're all going to the same place. What if I'm the slowest? Well, the others will wait for me. What if I'm the slowest? Does it really matter that I'm the slowest? So, we create these stories and these frames in our head, and it doesn't matter how many times I can say it doesn't matter, someone has to be at the back. I get it. It is in our own heads that we don't want to hold others up. But really what we're saying is, especially with the last, is I don't want to be a burden to anyone. And hey, women, my age, around my era, We have to get over that. We are not a burden to anyone. We have wisdom, we have courage, we have all these life skills that we can bring. And just because we may not be the fastest hiker out there doesn't make us any less of a person. So Ellen says, I'm going to read the question out loud. Ellen says, lots of people say they couldn't do that. My question is, how do they know they couldn't do something? Hey, Ellen, if they have not tried to do that activity before. In a hiking group, it is the best place to try because the group will help and you may be able to do something that you thought was impossible for you. Absolutely, Ellen. And I think, you know, having had 2 kids who are now in their 20s, one of the things that we say to kids all the time is, especially when they're, little and you're going, let's just try this activity and let's enroll in this and let's enroll in that. And the kid doesn't say, well, I'm not very good at that. I'm not going to try that. I'll be slowest. I'll be worst at it. The kid isn't showing that. It is over time, the stories that we tell ourselves about this perfectionist approach or this not wanting to be embarrassed approach of, I'm not going to try that because I'm not very good at it. But yeah, how can you be good at something that you have never, ever done before? And just to touch on your point there, Ellen, that the group will help and may be able to do something that you thought was impossible for you is a really good thing, but the caveat on that is you need to find the right group. And I have in the past week heard a couple of stories from our members who have been out training for the various hikes that they're going on and have said that they've come across lots of, or not lots, quite maybe a handful of women in the past couple of months who have asked them what they're training for, what they're doing, what group they belong to. And the women who were asking the questions have said, we went on XYZ company's hike, couple of different companies, and we were told we were too slow. We were told our bags were too heavy. And we got taken off the group, which is horrifying, absolutely horrifying to see. So the caveat to that is, if you haven't tried something, you can't be expected to be the best, the brightest, the fastest at it, the wonder kid. So find the group that will give you that opportunity to let your star shine. And you may need to search around to find those groups, but when you find the right one, it will make all the difference. And that being last or being at the back won't last long. It's only physically temporary and perhaps mentally temporary as well, because as we train, as we get stronger, as we start to flex that showing up, that consistency over time and see results, that muscle gets stronger. And we still might have those doubts, but we learn how to quickly manage them and we pay it forward by helping others who come along as well. So great question, Alan. And Christine says, someone is always going to be last. Yeah, absolutely. Trails are not wide enough to walk more than one or two abreast. Leonie says, we as adults have fixed mindset over time. We absolutely do, Leonie, preventing ourselves from the most amazing adventures. Yeah, and the fixed mindset, we're not unique. We think, you might be sitting there going, well, no one has this, no one's like me. And no one is like you, but generally our thoughts are always the same, or along the same lines, and our story, our plot is not too dissimilar from someone else's. It's just the stories that we tell ourselves. Bronwyn says, I endorse you have to find the right group, and I experienced what you're saying and I haven't gone back to them. Absolutely. And sometimes it's trial and error, but it's also, I know we ran a workshop in Newcastle on the weekend and I was talking to Jane, our leader. It's about knowing what questions to ask to find the right group as well. And you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes it is a little bit of trial and error to be able to find that. But, if you're asking questions and you're not getting an answer, if you're asking questions and you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're asking questions and you're going, that might not be what I thought, then perhaps that's not the right group for you. But, ask away, look around, look at the pictures, look at the stories, look at the language, start to understand the language. And yeah, you'll know if they're not the right group, and you'll know if they are the right group as well. So great point there, Brod. Oh, and Julian says the same. Me too, Brod. So found the right, when you found the right group, and you know when you haven't, and you won't go back to them as well. Alethea says, having Yvonne by my side injured, well, she didn't get injured at Outback. You were in a moon boot before you came. Was great for the mindset, and having the group support going to the steep hill was a memory I'll never forget. So just to preface that, Alethea had medical clearance to come on the hike with us, and her foot was on its way to recovery, but was still in a moon boot. So she was able to participate in that hike with the support of us and the team leaders. Of course, Alethea and I were at the back of some of the time, and some of the time Alethea was not at the back either. So, you know, it varies depending, this fear of being last, the fear of being slow, depends on the terrain. It depends on, some people love hills, uphill, some people hate downhill. And some people shine on the flat. So, you know, that being last is just a temporary thing. And thank you, Alethea, for that. And Bros says limited in Tasmania. So we know that time won't wait either. You know, here I am at 59. I have this theory that we age, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're 5 years older physically than what you were the day before. And you know, we can look back and think that something was yesterday or just felt like yesterday. And I know in 1996, my now husband and I, he wasn't at the time, took 12 months off. We quit our jobs. I was in my late 20s, and we backpacked around the world for 12 months. We went to, you know, across Russia, you know, into places that you cannot get to now. And we are so glad that we did. But it seemed, and we didn't wait. We, you know, we held on to this dream. And I know I was seeing, there's a business influencer on Instagram, and he and his wife are doing a big trek through the Dolomites, and I'm sure it's, you know, a sponsored trek by someone. And you know, we dreamed about this for years, and we finally decided to do it. But you know, we just decided that that was something that we wanted to do. Now, that was a bit extreme, quitting our jobs and traveling the world for 12 months, but it's not something we have ever regretted. But it seems like it was yesterday, and it was 28 years ago that we were over there doing it. So it, you know, time does go fast, and if we don't seize the moment, then one day we'll wake up and that opportunity won't be there. And we can wait till we get fitter. And we were chatting today about having something physically to hook into, physically in the future to hook into, because if we get sick with a cold, you know, the cold or flu, the things that are going around at the moment, then that is a bit of a setback. And we can think we're getting, when we're better, that we're getting back to physical. But unless we have a goal to hook into, it really doesn't, you know, move us forward. And having worked in women's health and wellness for 20 years now, I know from all of the women, thousands and thousands of women that I've worked with in group and personal situations, is that if there isn't a goal out there, not a look good, feel good, want to get thin for wedding photos kind of goal, but a getting strong, getting active, getting out there that ticks all the boxes about quality of life in terms of social, in terms of physical, in terms of mental, in terms of time for you. If you don't have that goal out there, then, you know, the look good, feel good, lose weight just doesn't work. And, you know, there's a fine threshold between, you know, what we're looking for in women is strong. We're looking for strong in women these days. We're not looking for, you know, strong and healthy is what we're looking for in women. And there's a line that, you know, between, you can all eat healthily, but there's a line between eating healthily and then, you know, giving up on social occasions because you don't want to eat certain foods. So the strong and healthy and active is where we really want to be as women, and as women who are, you know, in the second half of our lives, whatever that number might mean from you. And I know that talking with many of our members, and I've been doing a bit of an audit of our database lately, is that you know, a lot of our members say that they wish they had joined sooner. Not just joined our membership for the benefits that that gives, but just joined this active outdoor pursuit a lot earlier. And there's a few women that I've known for a long time in their 70s who are in our membership group, who started their strength and wellness journey in their 50s. And, you know, their biggest regret is that they wish they had have started sooner. sooner than in their 50s. So it's never too late to start, and the sooner you start, the greater the benefits there will be. And my friend, who I've known for a long time, she is not a hiker, so no one would know of her. But she has been having some sore knees for a long time and going to the physio and not doing what the physio had said, but has recently joined a gym. And all of a sudden, in 6 weeks' time, the pain has gone from her legs. She's moving much more freely. This whole new world of opportunity has opened to her because she's not constrained by the things that she thought were going to be what were taking her into her older age. So we can, bundle all of that up. As Anne said before, procrastination is the thief of time, and we can hang on to those agreements, or that, as Leonie said, those, what was it that you said, Leonie? Those, it's in here. We can hang on to those stories that we have a fixed mindset over time. So we can hang on to the fixed mindset. We can not be open to new opportunities. We can stay in our own little circle of stories that serve us well for what we're trying to achieve. But if we think about our balanced wheel, if we think about the opportunities of what is serving me socially, what is serving me physically, emotionally, financially as well. And I wrote this newsletter many years ago about my friend's mother, who's now in her 80s. And she is living her best life. And she's lived a wonderful life as well. And she's still skiing in her mid-80s over in Europe, and, riding on the back of motorbikes and all sorts of things, because she decided in her early 50s what she wanted every decade to look like going forward. So she worked out where she wanted to live with a strong community, what she wanted to do for her physical, for her strength, for her movement, what she wanted her social to look like, what she wanted her finances to look like, what proximity did she want to, health and that sort of thing. And so we can all look at that wheel of, let's call her Mary, the wheel of Mary, and it's probably not the best name, but we can all look at that wheel of life and figure out in our parts, why wait for that bit to happen, and why wait for that bit to happen, and why wait for that bit to happen, because time just does go so fast. And sometimes we think today is dragged on, but we will never get back time. And, maybe as I get older, every milestone year, time runs out. Time is not something we can put in a bottle at all. Christine says, I was almost 70 when I started, and I've discovered that 70 is not as old as I thought, but I thought it was, but I truly wish I had kept going on any one of the various times I'd started to get fit and healthy, whether that was 5, 10, or 20 years ago. Yeah, and thank you for being so honest there, Christine, because it's really, really easy to default to the easier choice. And this book of a lady I met, Bonnie, years ago, she's head of Girl Scouts in America, and her book is not in print anymore, called Make the Harder Choice. And the harder choice is always the best choice, always the best choice. And the harder choice is keep going with your fitness until it becomes a habit. And I say this more often than not, show me your habits and I'll show you your life. So if your habits are that you're not moving much, then your life is probably not particularly active. So a lesson there. But I've gone on and on. I've gone off topic. So why wait? We need to be just conscious that time is there. The cookie jar will run out eventually one day. So why wait? Take advantage of every opportunity. Take advantage of when someone asks you somewhere. The year of yes, the book we read for book club. Say yes. Say yes to the opportunities that come your way, because you just never know what's behind that next door. You just never know what wonderfulness is waiting, what new friendships you might make, what skills you can have, how you might pay things forward as well, and how we know from every single one of our members as well, how unknowingly inspiring every single one of them is, or every single one of you are who are watching, for your families and that ripple effect that you create. So that is it from me for my birthday. Why wait? Age is but a number. but time does not wait regardless of what that number is. So thank you for listening. Please post comments away in there, and if you have any questions or would like a topic in particular, then please also jot that down. But I will catch up with you next week here on Monday Night Live, and thanks for all the birthday wishes. See you.